And you remember Beryl just a couple months ago. This storm is following a pretty similar path. Not exactly the same, but it's running into a lot of dry air. That nice fall dry air we've been feeling, it also helps us out here. It's actually limiting intensification at this point. First, though, there's still hurricane and tropical storm watches and warnings. Tropical storm warnings in the blue up to hurricane warnings in the red, focused more on Louisiana. That's where the big intensities are going to be out of this. Even if a storm's wind speed, like category 1, 2, 3, the Saffir-Simpson scale, is not as high, you'll still see storm surge. Looks like 5 to about 10 feet in spots here, southern Louisiana, and elevated rip currents. Dangerous, no doubt. Let's go ahead and take a look first, though, at the Saffir-Simpson scale. Get a brush up on it. We've seen it before. Okay, category 1 is where we think this storm will land. Category 1 to 2 certainly in play. Then you get up to major. Major starts at category 3. Okay, that's when it's possibly more widespread and you start to see devastating damage up above 3 or 4. There's category 3. That's what it would probably look like. Get to category 4 and 5. That's getting closer to Beryl. Remember, back in the Caribbean was a category 5. Then fortunately it made landfall in Texas quite a bit weaker. Why? Well, that drier air. Let's take a look now. Here it is. The latest Hurricane Hunter reconnaissance wing went through it. And what we're seeing is it's battling that dry air right now. See how all the thunderstorm activity up on the northern sides, there's a lot going on there versus the center is trying to get its act together, but it's struggling at this point. Zooming in, there's the latest wind speed 67. You need 75 for hurricane. Still not there. And the latest track is shifting more east, so it'll have a little more time in the Gulf than previously thought. But the Hurricane Center now backing off and showing it making landfall as a category 1. Let's go over to the weather maps and we'll diagnose this for you. Spaghetti models all pretty much agreeing as well. As you get closer to the event and we get a common center, it'll become more confined in terms of the forecast track. And that's what we're seeing, a landfall perhaps tomorrow evening. Probably not exactly to heart there, taking the time, 7 o'clock, but very close to that. Here it is. You can see the swirl. I have this in 3D here. The taller towers here are more convection. Those are your big thunderstorm clouds all the way up. And again, this is dry air wrapping in. And fortunately, that is causing this to struggle, kind of like Beryl did once it hit the western Gulf. If we didn't have that dry air over these warm waters, you could have a major hurricane. But right now, that is helping limit it from intensifying. Once we see this develop more of a core, a vertical core stacked from surface up to the top levels of thunderstorms, so you need to see this closed around a common center or an eye, that's when intensification can really accelerate. So far, it's not doing that, so good news there. Now, as we zoom in closer here, you can see the tallest parts of the thunderstorms on the northeast side and now trying to develop on the western sides. Once you get that circle closed off core, you can start to see some faster intensification. We hope that holds off. Here's the NAM model showing what we can expect here. Rounds of showers and storms will be more proliferate in East Texas, but we could see some storms starting tomorrow morning in towards Collin County, perhaps Grayson County, and moving in towards Denton County. This, I think, by tomorrow afternoon, a few more hit and miss showers, maybe some thunderstorms in there. Now, some of these downpours will be briefly pretty heavy. This is heavier tropical rain, not like a normal rainstorm we're used to seeing. The atmosphere can hold more water. This is deep tropical moisture. But after Wednesday night, perhaps a sprinkle or two Thursday morning to our east, I think this jets out of here. So good news there. But this dry air over us, look, that brown is dry air. That's how it feels so great outside. This moisture is about to come into play. Right now, though, feels like temps are great. Enjoy this last taste of false fall. It's all going to change. 88 tomorrow with a 20% chance of those thunderstorms. We may bump that up to 30 given what we're seeing, but up to 98 Saturday. Unfortunately, that heat is right back with us.